up. We got ourselves interesting. We got ourselves a championship set here, or this is the regular championship, I guess we're calling it. I got the showing the bracket here. This is everybody, the top 3 players from bronze, silver, and gold. Although I guess in the case of bronze, it was the number 4 player. I guess the number 3 player was had dropped out. So
I believe they just went through actually silver 2 and 3, and then bronze 1 and went through immediately, and then there was 2 and 4.
But bronze. But there was no bronze 3. I forget who they were.
I remember because it was versus me. Yeah, it was supposed to be my person. But I was prepping for Byaxian the whole time because I was like, okay, Hyper's gonna pick Bryce. And that means I'm going to be left with Byaxian, which I don't want to face either Bryce or Byaxian because Bryce was like, I faced Bryce in week 1 when they're the weakest, and then they started getting better. It's like, I hate this because I think like by the time they're getting to me, they're actually on fire. So I'm really curious about how they go. And then, but Byaxian dropped out, so Hyper gets first pick, and he's going to pick the bye, right? So he picks the bye, and I get Bryce, and I, as you can see in this bracket, I lose. Spoilers, but not.
It looked like it was a close one anyway. But anyhow,
I'm more than happy with it. I had played 2 sets that day. One of the set meant I had to play more competitive SpyParty, and the other one meant I get to stop playing competitive SpyParty. I'm totally like,
anyhow,
so stressful.
So anyway, with this tournament, I don't know if winning actually gives you anything other than just bragging rights. Right. I think that's it. I think, but the actual promotions and demotions are separate matches, which most have been already played. I don't know if we've streamed them yet or anything, so we're gonna,
Well, winning the upper championship also doesn't give you anything except bragging rights. Maybe it might give you like, is there like a prize? There might be like a little prize.
I don't know. There might be a prize. Anyhow, anyway, we're in the second round right now. We got the gold number 1 and silver number 3, and. Look, looking at that, it seems like Calamay is going to have a tough go of it. But if you actually got the data here, the finishing scores of the season, you can see that although gENTleman is technically number 1 in gold, the top 3 players in gold all tied for this with the same score, 9 points each, same number of wins, draws, and losses. So gENTleman only got into first just because of some sort of tiebreaker rule. I'm not sure what it was, but anyhow. And
I also want to note that gENTleman had their first pick of who they wanted to play. Because they started, so they actually picked Calamay over Bryce and the other ones, right? So that kind of indicates where they believed their relative strengths are. Like I would hate to be in that position where you actually get to pick the person, just because I feel like that sets a fire under the other person where they're like, oh, you picked me because you think you can beat me. It just puts a pressure like I don't love. So I'm not saying that like, oh, gENTleman threw out disrespect to Calamay by picking them first above what in theory Bryce would be a lower pick. But Bryce doesn't get picked first. He gets picked second.
And actually, Calamay is in kind of a similar situation. They've got like a lot of point ties in silver as well. It just so happens that Calamay once again won the one that had more wins. So they got the tiebreaker, and so we'll see how this all shakes up. It looks like to me that silver was a more evenly. Where the games look like they're a little bit more even. The players are also, like more even match, and gold is a little bit lopsided, which, this is kind of like, although this is season 8, it's kind of starting over with a lot of these players. So
gold also had basically 2 buys because Skarny dropped out. Which is too bad because Skarny's a great player. And just had come off a great run in
it just turns
Summer Cup.
It's just life is hard sometimes.
Exactly, and competitive SpyParty is no joke, dude. Like, if it's affecting your mental health, like, dude, just drop out. Like, come back later. But like, it is stressful.
Yes, I agree. I was had some rough times up in Diamond, so I'm like, well, let's take a little break.
Isn't this a party game? What are you talking about?
It's a fun party game. That's half the people that pass by in packs That's what they say. That's why I always hear them. I go, well, yeah, whatever. I'm not going to correct them. But anyway, let's look at this draft. And actually, let me actually update the draft to the correct one here. There we go. This should be it.
Yeah, in this draft we have Calamay deciding that restricting and banning is above them. Yeah. I'm not gonna ban anything.
Yep.
Which I mean, I also like it. I do that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the one good thing is that it means, more venues to choose from when you're picking, and
yep, you give your opponent absolutely no info here.
Yeah.
Yeah, and especially in this one where we have more venues to pick from, right? Oh, actually, and this is also important because it's showing you're seeing it on this thing. Because of the nature of this tournament, you'll notice that gentlemen got more picks.
Yeah, right? They got one more pick.
So Calamay, definitely the restrict can be like, oh, you don't want to give any information. But gentlemen's actually going to get to pick more venues from this. And so if you feel like you're going to give information to your opponent who's about to just pick 4 venues, you might not want to, right? But then again, gentlemen might just be totally happy with this because they get more options, right?
Yep. And anyway, yeah. So we got as it has been for the upper divisions. I think it was Platinum and Diamond. They have multiplies now, which means that they can place the doubled venues, or they could even potentially have a tripled venue. Each player can pick. And let me see. It's not clear from this who doubled what, but yeah, Calamay was the one that so they both multiplied their own picks. And so the doubled venues won't come at the start. They'll be we got 2 regular venues and then 2 doubled venues and then the rest.
Yeah, there's no major themes except for there's no 5 of 8s. And it's going to end with 3 with 3s, right?
Yeah.
So we're going to have a run of similar, actually, lots of this will be familiar to the last one, where the middle set is going to have, Tay Courtyard, Modern Gallery, so very familiar there.
Yeah.
Also throwing in Ballroom, which will be familiar regardless. But then, if the person doesn't win out by Pub and High Rise, if this is the play order, which I think it is.
It is.
You're in a stressful spot because it is no fun being down to the wire for Pub and High Rise. So, we'll have to see how that goes for them.
All right, I think we're ready.
As a reminder, 1st to 10. So first player
10
here in total will be our winner, and then there's some fun tiebreakers at 9-9.
And Calamay does not have 2 points already. Let me reset that. Oops. Oh, and we got General here. Let's go. Come on, General.
So these 2 players have been playing for a little while now, so they know what they're doing at the very least.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, I am all set too.
Yep.
Then let's get going and talk about these players more in 3, 2, 1, playing it.
So gentlemen, go ahead. You'll probably say the same thing that I'm going to.
I don't think so. So go for it. Go for it first.
Gentlemen, I think of as a tournament organizer, along with you, right? Where he's actually done some great stuff with doing some tournaments, and then also has been organized some casting stuff. So that's some of the. By the way, immediate microfilm when we come in here, but that has been really fun seeing all that happen with Gentlemen. And then Calamay has just been around for just a really long time and just playing in this, and it's been cool to see them develop, and also cool seeing them have like habits from so long ago.
Yeah, Calamay and Gentlemen are players from at least 2022. I believe Calamay is from even 2021 beforehand. And they have played against each other already in Winter Cup 2023 and the Twilight Zone, which that was a while ago. And in both matches, actually, Gentlemen won. So we'll see if Calamay manages to turn it around here, or if we're going to see another Gentleman win against Calamay.
Yeah, and I also don't remember if Calamay would be up for promotional match, because that's the other thing is these matches are also happening at the same time as a lot of them are also in the promotion parts too. I forget if Calamay actually had a promotional match.
Yeah, Calamay did have one. Unfortunately, lost 10-6 against Hoffnung, so did not promote to gold here.
Got it. Those are also, some of these games are from a while ago, so it's hard to know if this was before or after that one, after that set. So that can be a nice way to. Oh, we are going to get a bug back here. It's a standing bug. Journals are, it's a good standing bug, but we could see the head, right? The hand was basically invisible, completely blocked. So we'll see if we do that kind of action, and it doesn't matter because there's just going to be a shot on Taft because it's Tan and crazy stuff happens. I was not paying attention to Taft. Any insights on why that shot happened?
No, but Taft was also in conversation for quite a while, especially for the banana bread. No, Taft was banana split on that conversation, kind of a few seconds after, and then went straight into center statues there at the end. So I assume we were just like too scared of Taft here.
Yeah, and that can make sense where let's see, we ditch out to books, and then like you're saying, I'm curious
Chaos
always about like the immediate like chaos bug. Yeah, exactly. Where we did have maybe an opportunity there, right at the start. But we didn't get a highlight right there, but yeah, but also Tayan is just chaotic, and sometimes if you just feel like you have a feeling for it, just like in the last set where we shot Duke, I think it was, at statues late in the game, people will just civ shot because Tayan's so difficult.
It's Taeyeon. What can you do? You get bugs everywhere. Okay. So we have Calamay with up 1-0 here and trying to get a nice 2 in 3, 2, 1, playing it.
Oh, it sounds like also there was a print on the bookcase as well. So Taft plausibly had a bug, split on banana, and then center statues, 2 inspects. And also that feels like a good way to start off a set. So that could just feel like, oh, I'm just feeling at my opponent there. And we were being aggressive that set. So it's not like we had a misread on what kind of style gENTleman was going to bring into the set. We do not go for this purloin, and we're just going to probably timer flirt.
Yeah, I don't mind the purloin, especially here with Shoji's on the other side. This would have been very dangerous. We go straight for the bug here into bookcase. Behind Shoji as well. I actually don't mind it. I wonder if we get a highlight for that just after. Maybe we don't want to make it obvious.
I agree. I think that bug was actually really great. And something I really appreciate the bug is we actually started it late because it didn't matter that our arm was going to be sticking out near the end. And we get this nice fingerprint, natural fingerprint to fingerprint. Um, this is one of those ones where it is going to be seen by the sniper. Like the sniper is going to be aware we were next to Ambassador. They should be aware we have a print because they joined Ambassador at Conversation Circle. We are picking up this highlight. I still don't actually know if we're in trouble though, because again, if we just timer flirt and contact, we might actually be hard pressed to shoot because that's the things that we did were AI like. They're just kind of aggression that looks like AI stuff, and we're going to take this innocent drink to try to furtherly complicate the idea of shooting us later. We do hit a green, so we're at 72%. Let's see, far green. Can we finish on this one? I don't know.
I believe
if
we can,
can.
yes.
Yeah.
Because we got a 34% just before. And so that
Oh
should
yeah.
bring us up just enough. I think so.
Double Agent also joins us in here. So unfortunately, Seduct Target leaves, so we can't just stay in this conversation entirely. We're gonna have a choice here about whether or not we want to contact. Honestly, gENTleman might start wondering about why a contact hasn't happened. After a little bit, because let's see, especially after the shift. Is White Dress going into the conversation circle?
I don't
There's a lot
like
of
us
people.
leaving.
Agreed.
It's not like we have a bunch of time. We only have 60 seconds. We're going to go back in now. It's going to feel like we're going to take the banana bread now, and this is going to feel way worse on the sniper side if they're noticing this. We also need to run for our flirt here, and we're not taking... There we go. There's our banana bread. It's white. It's not a big deal, but Double Agent leaves. This is the worst possible scenario. Ambassador joins us. That's not useful. We already bugged. We have 36 seconds to figure out what we want to do. And we need to do at least one flirt and then another mission. Double Agents as a bookcase. So if this could end really badly. Safety off on Kane, though, so we're not dead yet, but we do need to finish our missions.
We're gulping our hands to free our. Gulping our hands. We're gulping our drink to free our hands. Double Agent is going to join the back conversation circle. That is where Seduce is. We do have enough time for both. If we can hit both, we have to double talk. We have to at least. We are going to double talk. There it is. And then there's Banana Bread is going to come off at like 1 second, and almost a miss shot on Queen. But yeah, that is a bummer, because had we not had to do that, I think that we would have been okay. It's like, I do think that the double talk is bad, right? That's just like unfortunate, right? Because we have to at least attempt for the double talk. I do think that in that scenario, we are the OT shot, because it didn't seem like Kane was doing anything additional that would make them the OT shot at the end there, because we had to change positions. But I fully agree with you. I think that came down to deciding to leave the conversation circle with Double Agent at the end there. I don't think we needed to do it, and it made it a little bit trickier. I think we had to be just a little bit bolder with that Double Agent. I think we might have still gotten shot, but it was going to make it trickier for the sniper.
Yeah, I completely agree. I think it just came down to that, sadly. And, well, gENTleman's going to pick up a second win here, 2-0. Let's see if they can keep the lead on Ballroom now. One of the most standard venues, if not the most standard for SpyParty players, is the first one they play. Let's get going in 3, 2, 1, playing it.
And the irony, of course, for the Taean game is we actually got really smooth fingerprints, complete fingerprints, and a bug in one swoop on that one, and it was the Flirt and Banana Bread that actually really tripped us up. But honestly, for the rest of the set, that's a good sign. If we're having more confidence around bugs and fingerprints than contacts and seductions, I think we're going to be doing okay. So it's a long set. I'm not too worried for Calamay, but they, of course, are down a little tiny hole at the beginning.
Yeah, I didn't love that Banana Bread. If we took all of our lowlights here, we knocked down half of the cast, which would have been really bad. I don't think all of them were taken. In fact, only one lowlight was taken, which I'm a little confused about. There were a lot more people outside the conversation. Maybe we didn't have time for that. But now
It's also it throws people off, early Banana Breads, especially on Ballroom, where like you feel like there's such a like standard thing where it's just like, you're right that if we were like ready and primed, but sometimes it's just like, I cannot believe that Banana Bread happened that soon, you know.
There's too much movement for you to try and do something. I totally get it. It was really early. Nope, no Purloin here, but we finish Seduce as well just before, which is very nice. We got 2 minutes to figure out 2 missions here, which is plenty of time, but obviously it's our third and fourth mission and not Seduce in Contact like the previous game.
I like your point about movement for the Banana Bread, where the Banana Breads that are bad with lots of lowlights are people like, there's a bunch of people at statues or at bar or at windows where it's easy to see that they're not in conversation circle. If there's just a lot of people moving that are technically lowlights, also at some point you're worried that any one of them might be a split, right? And that you just missed it. And it makes all of the people in motion, like, you're just nervous because it's like a moving crowd, you know? So there is a difference between people that are out of conversation circle, even if they're kind of far. If they're in motion, if everybody's in motion, all of a sudden you're worried about hitting it wrong. We're gonna get the swap, but I don't know if it's gonna be seen.
Cycle. We're not getting shot.
It's too early, yo. No. So we obviously had Calamay. Calamay did have the angle on the statue. I'm actually curious if because they it felt like they were checking the statue. Was the part that I'm a little bit surprised about. Where I didn't see like a strong reaction. We might have just been worried, or we might have seen the swap and been like, okay, I don't think you're done with Seduce yet. And so I'm going to wait to see if you are the swapper or if you are the maybe a green test concern. So I am curious if Calamay saw that at all. Oh, nope, Calamay confirms. Just missed it. Yep. Sometimes that happens, and it's early. It's in the middle of the game where you might not be expecting to see a finish like that. So just a bold play that works out for gENTleman.
Yeah, really unfortunate not to catch that, especially with that 3 cycle. gENTleman just pushing the boundary got a lot of whites on those inspects, especially except the last one, but the last one's already quite fast, so Yeah, that was really unfortunate there not to catch that.
All right, well, Calamay again. It's a longer set, so we have flexibility in this one, but of course, got to start digging.
Yep, on the queen side this time. In 3, 2, 1, playing it. We're gonna chase our ST. Quite the standard start. Actually, our ST stops. I thought she might start going somewhere else, but no, this is perfect. Green flirt. I don't think we're gonna do anything. I am completely wrong. We go for a green Burloin very early in the game. Very visible, but at least it's green. Don't know what the reject chain looks like. Duke doesn't take. Center statues. We're going for a mini rush here. I love it.
Sorry, it's taking. There is a zoom in. We are gonna be pulling in the highlights here. I think there's an incorrect highlight in there. Don't was Irish in the chain? Maybe you saw. I don't know if Irish is actually in that chain or if she's just in the conversation with the Purloin.
We do go for a 3 cycle if you're here in inspect. I believe it was Sari that was the that didn't take a drink, but now she has a drink, so I might be confused. Here's a contact though. We're going really fast. I love it.
In the end of red.
Oh, we
Yeah,
don't
sorry.
off,
Sorry was the taker. Duke rejected, so we rejected. Duke rejected. Sorry took. I don't remember. If
Irish was. I just checked. Irish was in the chain. She was the first. So.
All right, so we have parsed this chain out actually pretty well, but because Calamay's like honestly doing really good on time. Actually, we might want to step closer to our seduction target, but we do kind of have time, but we'll see. Because we will be whittling down the people that could be done, and we'll kind of like we're having to juggle our targets. I will say, Sari is Hylet, we are Hylet, and Irish and Duke have been. Why are we going back to this statue?
I hate this.
I do as well.
I
yeah.
Hate this. No. That's really no. We had our flirt timer going down, and we were close enough for that flirt to actually work. Unfortunately, we go back to statues. I assume to try and get heat off of us because we were already seen at the middle statue. But this is really not the play. I don't think so, unfortunately.
Yeah, it can work from like a Yomi double bluff level of if I wasn't if you think that I was already done with inspect, why would I go visit twice, right? So it can work from that bluff level, right? But the thing that if I am sniping, some of the times I'll be like, well, they could be bluffing, or maybe they hit a red inspect and they didn't finish, right? Or like any of the reasons they might not have actually finished, and now you're just confirming that you definitely are done with inspects, and it just like feels timing wise kind of like a little bit. I'm skeptical. I agree. I think just hanging out in that conversation was a play. And that was that also the thing? Maybe hanging out in conversations might be the I'm curious if that's going to keep coming up because I think that was also the true on Taeyen, right? With hang out in the conversation with the double agent, but actually that might have been gentleman too. Actually, that was gentleman. So that's not for either one player. Players, both of you, hang out in conversations.
Yeah, just stay in your conversations. You're doing fine. That's what sometimes AIs just stay in their conversation for the whole game, and sometimes they don't go into conversation at all.
Mm-hmm.
So,
but I do like really cool ideas, though, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, this was a brilliant game. Like the Purloin, green Purloin was really nice. There was a good chain as well already. We go for inspect statues, 3 cycles, and it's not great, but it's okay, especially if it's not noticed by the sniper. And then we had a nice clear path to victory, and we decided to go to statues, sadly.
Yeah, there was a chance that we would get shot for the last flirt, but I do think that because we were Hylet, so gentleman did have. I will say, gentleman had a good grip on a tough situation, which is they had an early Purloin with 3 potential rejectors and a taker, and they did have about the best highlight response that you could have, which is they knew who was in there. They then dropped their highlights on Sari and Duke because they were like, okay, I've now reduced the party down to 4. Now I'm gonna drop Sari and Duke down because I knew they're their chain, but now I want to track how much mission progress they've done. And only it sounded like Sari maybe they just kept because they knew that they were the taker, and so they just got kept that highlight. But they kept Queen's highlight because they knew that they had done the statues, right? So They were gonna just like parse that out, and it was gonna be an interesting late game. So gENTleman still might have shot, but I do think that that one definitely prompted. But fun play regardless.
Yeah, absolutely. Really well managed from gENTleman, and still very well played from Calamay. Now, gENTleman on the spy side here with a very nice lead. Gonna try and continue this lead in 3, 2, 1, playing. A gENTleman with slightly more AI control here. Going for the very fast flirt. 46% hurts, but when you have a free flirt like this, you take it. Double Agent's not going to stick around. We're not going to get an early BB this time. And let's see what we do with 3 minutes left on the clock.
I'm curious if I didn't actually pay enough attention to it. Something that I do think that snipers would benefit from bringing into their highlight game on Courtyard is if two people visit statues about the same time, such that they could not finish in specs, to not actually to bring them back down to neutral lights. If they were there together, because Irish and I think it was Disney. I think I didn't see them arrive at the exact same time, but they definitely put down where neither one of them could have inspected after they put down. So they might not actually have true inspect credit, which is a thing that can really help you parse out the party on sniper side and courtyard.
Yeah, I wonder. I think that's a lot of attention you'd need to pay to statue visitors. It could very well pay off though, because obviously you get rid of two potential suspects here.
That's true. Not yeah, if it's during the downtime, like spots where like Toby's managed to recent take and Ambassador's not a problem. It's true that just a little bit of medium hanging fruit around the middle of the tree, not the lowest fruit, but fruit that you can still grab.
It's there, but you need a bit more effort, basically. Exactly. We're gonna go to statues.
This is reminding me of the sorry shot. I like if I've been casting a set between sets and I'll see a venue pop back up, I'll reflexes. I'm just thinking of the sorry shot from the first set right here.
I was about to say the statues are also the same on both sides, so maybe we could just move over, swap very quickly.
Right, exactly. Yeah.
We're gonna go in an empty conversation, not going for that very quick swap, especially when the sniper's onto us. We have almost our 3 standard mission. As usual, the question on Courtyard is, what is your 4th mission? Are we going for a cheeky swap here?
Oh, I think we are, and we didn't do the full rotation. So if we got to get out of here. We got to put down a run. But we are completely off screen still. And we're gonna finish flirts at windows. I don't know if we're even gonna see. Okay, we're gonna see the swap happened. We have 5 seconds to shoot, though. I don't think it's possibly gonna happen. This feels like just a win from gENTleman, and that was actually a great abuse of the sniper angle on that one for sure. And what a lovely happenstance that the seduction was ready to be flirted at the window that was still kind of behind it. So we didn't even have to go really onto sniper's screen to finish the flirt. Lovely spot there. Just getting caught on those rotations.
Yeah, sniper not rotating enough here. I think rotated about 2 or 3 times in the entire game. And when your game is 3 minutes and a half, you might miss a couple of cheeky swaps like this. Very well played from gENTleman to be able to notice that. I thought the sniper was going to rotate there, and while we were doing the swap, and we were for sure dead. But then we stopped just before we saw Sari, and gENTleman gets away with it. Great play.
Yep, well paced, good timing, and then just abusing again like the spots that we're at. Because Toby was on the far side, you had a good angle on it. Like, yeah, just well done. And also like on a slow character too. Like sometimes you don't consider Sari to be a person that can pick up a statue and run, right? And we did actually not run as quickly as we could have because I think we were worried about it coming back around. But yeah, I guess the other thing. It was actually also it was a frame. I didn't even pick this up. It just happened to be that also Sniper wasn't looking on this side. We were picking up Rocker statue. It actually kind of looked like a green statue. We weren't the exact closest person, so if Sniper was paying attention to who padded over there, it doesn't quite. Well, unless maybe. Is there priority on drinks? This is something I don't know. If there's drinks, or is that person not considered the closest? Would they gulp or something like that?
That's the kind of thing I'd need to look at. It's really interesting how sometimes the game decides what AIs are going to do specifically, especially relating to spy play.
Right. But so I think that gENTleman initially went to it. It was kind of a win-win situation where Sniper's on the far side. If Sniper does rotate back around and sees the swap, if they had caught on to the fact that Rocker was the one there previously, it could look like a green. And they definitely weren't going to see the swap itself. They were not going to confirm the animation. And then it just turned out that Sniper wasn't rotating, and then we just kind of noticed, actually, we have enough time to just put down. Like we do break animation a little bit and walk away, but yeah, very fun game.
Yeah, gENTleman with a very sweet lead. Although again, this is only halfway to a win. We're going up to 10, so still possible for a comeback here. Calamay on the spy side wanting to get that first point in 3, 2, 1, playing it.
It looks like we're going to join.
Yep.
Ooh, and we can actually pick up first if we want to. I don't think we're going to. Okay, we do want to pick up first, and yeah, we get to do a flirt and a couple of the specs right here. So we're gonna have a nice quick start here. Almost like thinking about a green swap here might be kind of fun, but I don't think we're gonna go for it after having to take such time with these statues, because those two whites really did eat up a lot of time there.
Right next to the ambassador. Oof. Interesting path. I'm not convinced about it, but I mean, it's okay. It works. We're right next to our ST now. White test. That's fine. 68%. We might want a timer flirt and just ponder on what our fourth mission is going to be while we wait for Double Agent to maybe join us. Conversations are quite empty right now.
Yeah, I think this is like you're saying. When Ambassador is at statues, the conversation circles are empty. Like that's a great time to just try to stay in flirt. Unfortunately, Seduction Striker does walk away, but I think it was the right play to stay in the conversation circle as well. Ambassador's dropping another fingerprint on statues. That's the unfortunate thing about going to statues early, is that sometimes it'll make it more obvious, I guess, if you're going for fingerprints. But the great thing about Ambassador dropping fingerprints is also more AI will finish fingerprint. I honestly, from this position, would not mind a time ad and just wait for a really good BB, because lots of statues with lots of fingerprints means lots of suspicion on AI.
I'm scared about our position. Yeah, exactly. We're 92%. We weren't close enough for that flirt. I think we could have risked being at least on 90-degree angle here instead of exactly on the opposite, because now we were too far for a white test. A green test would have worked, but trying to risk it on a green shouldn't be the play.
Everybody's in CC. Oh, there we go. I was gonna say that actually should have been an automatic fake, basically. Actually, almost everybody's in CC. I think we should just fake here. There's just so many people in conversation circle. Only one person's out. Honestly, it's right now. It's weird that there's not a banana bread happening from the sniper's perspective.
Yeah, the issue is there's only like 4 people with a reel. So even if there was a thing, I think there's 3 people who are potential suspect plus a low light. So this would be not a known fake, but if the spy was in there, it would be really easy to tell who the spy was. Or it's a fake, obviously. 45 seconds on the clock, though.
Well, we have a person who's already low lit. How did we get that low light on Disney? Okay, we are gonna hit the green purloin. So, if we catch the reject chain, this is gonna be a big deal. We are rotating on the far side though as this take happens. Sari's gonna be taking, just like actually we get the shot on Sari. So Sari took in the ballroom game as well, but ended up not getting shot. Instead, the queen gets shot. Sari takes again on this time, and this one we believe that we saw a white animation on this one. We did not have the worst view of Trey, honestly, for courtyard here. I mean, courtyard is a great spot for Trey, but it was right in the middle of like the bands that green purloins can happen, so it kind of looked white-ish. It wasn't too early. It wasn't too late. You'd have to see how quick it was, and just looks like Sari is done. Who looks like they were a highlight. So they could have been done with their missions at that point. It seems like.
Yeah, Sari is getting shot a lot these sets. Poor Sari, going for a lot of those shots. Calamay picking up their first win, though. That was a very nice game. I liked the plays quite a bit. We're going to try and pick up a second one, still on Courtyard. This was a doubled venue. gENTleman here with Teal in 3, 2, 1, playing it.
It was interesting also because at first I was going back to the log to see. I assumed the highlight was on Sorry for statue visit, but it looked like Sorry was actually a highlight for other reasons, potentially like bugs, stuff like that. There was very few statue visitors, so like while I really loved the, I was talking about the fingerprint options on statues. After that initial rush, people just kind of stuck in conversation circle all game. So it was really good also to get that Purrloin off because there wasn't much else happening for us in that game.
We go for a timeout. Have we been paired for that flirt here? Yeah, it feels like it. The timeout is nice, but getting paired here is really hurts. BB, only 4 people with the real BB here. Yep, we're gonna get highlight.
Which means we'll probably drop down. Yeah, we're gonna drop down the people that got paired up a little bit. We're keeping the Alice highlight, and we of course are kept as highlight. We're gonna do another contact, but it's kind of the same group unless. Oh no! Wait! Maybe. Okay, I don't know if Calamay is gonna think that General was in conversation or not. We do highlight. We haven't highlight Wheels though. Yep. Okay, there it is. Okay, so we do think that Double Agent was in conversation, and that it would have been like. That would have been it. I don't know about that because it would have been an insanely well timed banana bread for General to really have been in that conversation at that exact moment. But of course, we probably weren't paying like laser focused attention on that.
Yeah, again, I love going for a fake BB after a real. I feel like spies don't go for that enough, and seeing it just throwing in a few into your games is really good. Just to when you do a fake first and then the real BB. The sniper doesn't really know which one was the actual real. Nice fingerprint here on the statue. We finish our inspects as well. Managed to grab a flirt. No, that was with General before, but we've got plenty of time thanks to the timeout here. And we're going to need to find another fingerprint if we want to get our 4th mission here.
Yeah, Ambassador is going to drop briefcase at the windows, kind of unfortunately far from where our seduction target is, but it looks like we're positioning ourselves for this. Yeah, I think we are going to go from the windows over there. I'm curious if anybody from the conversation races us there. Does not look like it. Looks like Disney is going to be the racer. Oh, actually, no, Disney's just doing a normal path. So no one is in competition for this fingerprint with us. And after we do this return, we're going to do a little set down. And then we're going to walk around. We're going to be in good spot where we can side up right next to our seduction target here. And honestly, this is feeling like a spy win. We do talk quickly, but I don't think that it's actually going to get a shot. I don't think there's enough in this one. There's too many highlights from the contacts that we're worried about for other things.
This is a very hard shot, honestly. There are clues, obviously, for especially the fingerprints. You got 2 fingerprints here. If you remember the statue fingerprint. But the other clue here would have been the pairing at the beginning of the game with Twin, where we were paired up, and you could have shot there, but again, it's an early shot. There's a minute 15 left. Are you really going to shoot for a flirt at this point when you're not even sure about fingerprint status or any other mission? And you see that Purrloin's still there, no statue has been swapped, etc., etc.
Yeah. Honestly, these are... So what's funny is these games have been very... I'm comparing it to the previous sets where we're very loud, kind of wild games. These have been really focused in on generally like quiet, like more standard play. I guess you would expect that of softer tells and then like really focusing on like one mission and then trying to get the rest of the stuff done. But honestly, they probably could use a sprinkle of the boldness in if they want to come back a little bit. But very, very clean Courtyard game. Actually, all the spy games at Courtyards have just been good for this set.
Yeah, Courtyard's doing well. Here's another Sari. We seem to be getting a lot of these today. Let's get going in 3, 2, 1, playing it.
Yeah, sometimes a character will just end up being kind of like the main character energy for that set because even when they're not being picked, they are playing a big role in the games as well. And so we'll see if that keeps going on here. And it's like classically, sorry on on Courtyard is the standing bug threat, right? And which might have actually been the reason why we saw that that shot as well on the white swap, or the believed white swap forum. Sorry, potentially going over to another conversation or sorry, other statue. We did apparently want that briefcase because we shook our screen a little bit when Teal picked it up. So we might feel like we're a little bit behind here because we haven't actually got anything done while we're looking around for our. Oh, it might have just been that we actually not only did we not pick up the briefcase, but we also wanted to flirt with them, and they were right next to us. So double delay. Our seduction target isn't available, and we couldn't get the fingerprint, and our seduction target is at statues, and every statue was being held at the moment, so we couldn't even gone and flirted with them.
Yeah, we tried to go to our. I mean, I was actually kind of sad we passed by the statues twice, and I thought we were going to join our SD at the statues, but we didn't. On one hand, I like it because we avoid that early suspicion with statues, which spies like to do that mission very early because doing it at the end is sometimes more suspicious. But obviously, if you do it early, then you have a glowing light on you for the rest of the game. But it was enticing for the fact that our ST was there. Okay, I thought ST was going back to statues again. There's a briefcase behind.
Okay,
Our
so
ST was there. Yeah, go ahead.
Calamay needs to identify this as a frame target, though, right? Because now we've seen 2 fingerprints from our seduction target. We know that they were at statues. This is kind of the thing where bad seduction target luck almost becomes good seduction target luck, right? Because now we have an excellent frame target, and in fact, we are following up on exactly that because our ST is in conversation with a double agent, the known real double agent. I think that Calamay actually has an excellent possible path here. We get marked suspicious, unfortunately, too, but like we should red flirt, honestly, at this point. I think like in ways that are like natural. We do end up just doing a white flirt just because we want some progress in here, but we are gonna green test. I mean, it doesn't. No, I liked so much of what we had initially had with that. Like we only had like a minute left, but our seduction target was such a wonderful, absolutely wonderful frame target. And we had some control over where they're going to go with the red flirts. Like if we wanted to make them move near Ambassador, we could just throw that out there. Again, like there's a certain point at which seduction target activity bad luck becomes good luck in that they're like your top frame target from here on out.
Yeah, we had quite a few opportunities to flirt, but trying to finish missions here with a minute and 10 seconds remaining on the clock feels very difficult. We had absolutely no progress with 75 seconds left on the clock. So trying to finish here feels very difficult. If you manage to identify, which is not an easy task to be fair, that our ST is a very good frame suspect, then it can be quite good to try and go for that frame with the fake BB, especially we did. But we didn't follow through on it, unfortunately, and we just get shot for that bug, which with a very visible arm.
Mm-hmm. If Teal had rejected instead of taking that drink, I will say that we were in the perfect position for taking the drink. Right, we put ourselves right next to Toby for a natural thing. So had Teal rejected a drink and we white purloined, or I guess even doesn't matter, we green purloined, right? If we had gotten that green purloin after Teal was in there and we just stood still, I think Teal dies. And I think it would have been an amazing framed game. I do, again, really want to shout out Calamay for that banana bread on where Teal went into the real conversation circle, because Teal was incredibly active and we noted it and we got them a real banana bread, a known real banana bread. That is great heads up play. We just couldn't quite finish it out, unfortunately.
Yeah, and Calamay, the issue is now down 6 games. Again, we've seen comebacks, but it's very, very rare. Most of the time, this is going to be very difficult. But let's see these games. We've got Modern now. I believe it's doubled. And with gENTleman on the spy side in 3, 2, 1, playing it.
The good news for Calamay is that Calamay is like 90% of the way there on a bunch of these spy games. And like just like one, sometimes bad luck, but then also just like slight execution things are not sealing up. But like the instinct and the ideas around them, I absolutely love. So I do think that Calamay in this set could even come back and start doing well, because again they're just so close to it. It doesn't feel like gENTleman is dominating each of these games. They're just finding the weak spots in Calamay's game so far.
Oh, I agree. Here's RST pricking a fingerprint again. Maybe you can try and frame that again. But we've got 3 minutes and a half on the clock, and the issue is we don't really have any missions. Modern is a very big venue, so you have to walk for a long time. So you don't want to stay in a conversation for too long. This isn't that bad of a BP. You might want to wait a bit. But yeah, you don't want to wait too long to do missions, because otherwise you're going to find yourself with 2 minutes or a minute and a half on the clock, and you're going to have to walk from one side of the venue to the other, and then 30 more seconds are gone.
I'm seeing these little nods from gentlemen. I can't tell if it's just we're bored and we're just looking around, or we're trying to we're trying to like woo the seduction target our way, because I can't tell what they're for. We're looking towards our seduction target and bobbing, but I didn't know if you had an insight on that one.
I have absolutely no idea. Just trying to go for our ST, maybe willing our ST to move towards us. We do get a nice contact though, with two very good full conversations.
Look at this. Yeah, look at these CCs. Like, I want to screenshot. Oh my god, dude! I don't know if I've ever seen this. Like, just everybody is in one of 3 CCs on Modern, and there's a bunch of splits at the same time. This is a funny game. This is tough. I don't know what I would do as sniper in this one. Like, the good I guess there's good and bad things. The good news is for Spy, everyone was in CC, and even the people that left could kind of look like banana splits. The bad news is because everybody's in CCs, they might stick there for a long time and not do anything else, right? So you have no idea who's going to do what, like as they scatter. So it's not like a frame game. This is what I consider to be like a noisy game, where it's like after this, you just need to sow chaos, I think, because there's so many people that are going to be like in this weird position of like maybe having a banana bread, could have split, could have faked, definitely flirting. Like it looks like everybody has like flirt credit, right? So really interested to see what we do with this purloin, for example.
I think, as you said, chaos is amazing, especially in a game like this, and delegate purloin is one of the best ways to do so, because most of the time, if the sniper is trying to pay attention to delegate purloin, they're just remembering who went to bar in the last minute, essentially. And if you manage to send the purloin out, then now you're done. You've given all of these people suspicion, and because none of them are low lit, that is a lot of potential suspects you need to keep track of. And then you only need a 4th mission, right? Because you're already done with purloin, contact, and flirt. So you're doing very well, and the sniper is having a hard time because they have so many suspects, and you're only missing 1 mission.
I'm curious if this purloin is going to come off because we got redirected. It's going to be so close, I think. We delegated to Ambassador. It does go off. And so Ambassador is going to purloin here. Ambassador just so if you delegate to Ambassador and they get redirected, I don't remember if they automatically always go back for the redirect or if they go in, but like there is like very high chance a civ shot comes off now because this was a weird position. This is a really far path for this briefcase though, so it's possible that we are the one that gets shot in the end here. We do need to find when we're finished though. Yeah. Oh, we are actually getting one shot. So it's unfortunate. I think we sowed some really good chaos. I don't know if that purloin was getting tracked by Calamay, but who could have been the sender on that one? Possibly we stood out as the sender because we did go grab a fingerprint after. Briefcase after. So if Ambassador gets the purloin sent and you pick up briefcase, that is telling the spy. You can remember, the spy, that character must have been near Ambassador because they grabbed the briefcase. So we did kind of need to grab that briefcase because we were going to be behind on time, and the shot hadn't actually ended up coming up on a civ. But I'm curious how much of that was able to be like reverse engineered by Calamay. So very, very fun game, though. Very interesting, again, with the giant conversation circles. And honestly, a good hold from Calamay after the purloin had happened.
Yeah, also on the spy side, we were sadly running out of time. We spent a lot of time at the beginning. Like I said, we were in a conversation just waiting for our flirt and contact. While we did manage to get it, we started moving only when there was a minute 50 left on the clock, and we hadn't finished flirt yet. So now we started the big leaps from one side to the other of the venue, And because of it, we started running out of time, and we had to go for that briefcase that was quite suspicious. And it's not necessarily what you want to do when there's 30 seconds left on the clock.
Yep, but good on Calamay on that one. That was an interesting game, and good that they're able to pick up these strange ones, and a nice little shot there at the end. Because as far as Calamay knows, gENTleman could have been done. Seek could have been done with Flirt as well. It just happened to be that we were nowhere close to Flirt. We were like, if we didn't do that, I feel like we Crash Bug is our literally only chance to finish. I don't think we had time to even swap.
I think so indeed. And Calamay managing to double their points in a single game, now trying to get 50% more in 3, 2, 1, playing it. We're immediately low-lit. Okay, there we go.
It'd be funny. It's always funny because like that'll happen at the beginning of the game. People are pretty good about bringing them back up if you could get something done in there, but it's kind of rare. We're going to be joining our seduction target at books, and it's going to be a nice slow book take. So we could decide what we want to do here with these books. If Sari leaves, you could try to join again. That's sometimes a little bit tricky to try to pull off. Is flirting twice at the same books. We are going to white test. Let's see. We have a head turn, but it's like it is actually a really great spot for Jackson. Jackson's head is the same color as the wall behind it. So actually, it looked pretty good, even though it was a white test,
Yeah, I agree. Actually, with how our ST was standing right next to us, it was giving out the attention that we wanted from the sniper side, so the spy was quite happy with that, I think. The issue, obviously, with transferring manually is that you have a second transfer to do, and it's already one of the more telling animations, and now you need to do a second one.
Right, and your head's not going to be as good on other spots. Although, actually, if you stand in the back of honestly, I'm just taking down notes that I like Salmon for transfer on Modern. I don't think I ever clocked that because like I would have thought about the red bookcase for his head, but yeah, standing on the right side of blue bookcase, you also get the paintings in the backside. So, yeah, I agreed. It is always hard when you have to transfer. The thing that's bad about Salmon is you can't hide behind a CC and transfer very easily. You're about the tallest character, if not the tallest character. I guess General's hat pokes out the tallest, but you have less options when it comes to that other second one.
Yeah, and we've got 2 minutes 20 left on the clock now. We have a relatively decent amount of progress. I wish we were at least done with Flirt or something. Delegate Purloin Timer expires, so that's not going to work out. But what's our other missions here? While we have a nice transfer opportunity with one transfer down, here's Double Agent maybe. So we're heading to Bookcase first, probably to finish that animation transfer.
Yeah, and this is not a bad time because, like, yeah, we're really focused in on bar. This would actually be an excellent time to just do this transfer. Although, okay, actually, right now it's gotten a little bit worse because, but Ambassador's in motion, so I think we're good. And that was more on. Oh no, unfortunately, I do think we got picked up for a highlight there. We're gonna walk away with book though. That actually might work out given the status because that would be a little bit. That's counterintuitive to what we thought had happened, right? And I actually would love if we read a little bit at the window here. But I don't think it looks like we're going to. Yeah, it doesn't look like we're actually going to do a read animation there, but on our way back in here, this is going to look not too bad when we go put this back. Or we could do the ultra microfilm of you go put this back in red book, and you have the triple, every book getting involved one.
You did all the potential missions here for double transfer microfilm. That should count as 2 missions.
I agree. There should be something like you get automatically get a time ad or something, like some little bonus thing.
I mean, the issue here is while I like the play of taking the book out in theory, we have so little time left and we can't do anything with a book in hand. We can't grab a drink or statues.
And the bread.
And it really limits our options when we have 30 seconds left on the clock. We're not going to get shot yet because we have a book in hand, I assume, but with 25 seconds on the clock, what are we going to do now that's going to be quick enough for us to finish missions? We'd have to go to Windows to finish. It's going to be 3 at Bookcase.
Exactly, we have to ditch the bookcase. It's over. Like I don't think there's nothing we can do. We would have had 2 time ad. I don't know if we can actually get there even in time. Okay, we're gonna. Oh, no, we can. god. Oh, but are we gonna?
Oh wait.
Okay, we do get it off, and we have to run. But we're just gonna. It's just over. Yeah, we're too aware of that. I'm really curious about if it wasn't for the time problems you're gonna have, how on top of that microfilm gENTleman was, because the first microfilm I think actually was really excellent. And the second microfilm was well timed. Unfortunately, we're kind of in the background of Ambassador. If we were able to do that just like 2 seconds earlier when Ambassador is surrounded at bar, where there's a strong zoom in on Ambassador, that would have worked out even better. But it looked like it wouldn't have mattered, because if we were that worried and having that, we were gonna have pacing problems. So that's too bad. Again, Calamay has like these really great starts and these really great beginnings, but then like we just run low on time, which means they probably need to add time.
Yeah, we did at the end. Unfortunately, it was a little too late there. I think taking the book out was really the thing that made us lose way too much time here, because we had an opportunity at least to go to bar if we didn't have that book and try to do something here that didn't involve that book, obviously, where we would have been done with the mission. It's more suspicious, I agree, but when you are running out of time like this, you can't afford to take the book out, especially since you officially would need 3 cycles to put it back in. So that would have taken ages.
Yeah. I will say both Calamay was saying in chat that Jen saw it. One thing I will say is there was a whenever snipers take care to make it look like they're not highlighting someone, that's like the worst highlight, right? That's the most telling. It seems like gENTleman tried to, when we did that highlight, tried to make it seem like it was part of a normal sweep, where we're going left to right, and it actually is too low to highlight them because the couch is blocking them. They actually have to like ping the bottom of salmon just to get them, and then like continue on and do this little dip down. So we probably had the shot regardless, but cool. Again, I did really like the microfilm, and like if we had been able to be at that microfilm spot just a little bit earlier, that would have actually been a great timing window. But again, just Calamay is not playing badly. They're just come up just a little bit short.
There's just a few mistakes every game, and gENTleman's just pounding on those mistakes, knowing exactly what to do against them, and it's working for them, not for Calamay, sadly. But we've got our next game here, 8-2 for gENTleman, 2 games away from winning. Let's get going in 3, 2, 1, playing it.
We are immediately going to the bookshelf, and we're like really on the edge of this bookshelf. It feels like a rip, but it's going to take us a while to actually get this book. So it's not a straight up rip, though. It is just going to be a white test. The arm is going to go in, and similarly, Red's arm is relatively well covered by the right side of that wall, because her character model is similarly colored. So you can get away with that a little bit more. So they both use like the characters pretty well in that one. So very similar kind of start here as well, except for I guess Calamay also had a flirt at the bookshelf. But they have a flirt here, so basically it's the same start. And now we're diverging. Here's where the timelines separate, is us going to this bar at this point.
Yeah, and here's the difference, right? We're trying to be slightly more, at least active. I believe actually, didn't Calamay try to go to bar and then the delegate?
We do a direct. Sorry to interrupt, but like we direct from microfilm. So I am curious. This is actually really interesting, because one of the things I really like about this direct, so normally it'd be like, okay, what, a direct is insane at this part, right? It's a while before the next person's taking. Sometimes you don't notice the purloin until Toby goes to, oh, no, I think we did notice. We had a huge zoom in on our shoe. We almost shot there. I think a shot's going to come off us in a second. There was a massive zoom on our heel. I think we're going to get shot in the foot at some time here. It does seem like we're on top of this, but we'll actually have to see.
Yeah, we're the only highlight here, so it's going to be very difficult to do anything. I mean, we've got time if we want, but trying to do the other animation transfer as the only highlight is going to be impossible. Going to stat 2 set of statues is going to be, you're going to get shot for. This feels like a very difficult game to win. We are buying the briefcase though. At least we can try to do maybe fingerprints, but let's see what we do, and hopefully we don't get shot.
I think we feel trapped here because we don't want this fingerprint. Our game plan is microfilm, contact, seduce. We specifically do not want this briefcase. What's funny is our seduction target's going to get it. That's so funny. We can't go get the. If we might just go grab this flirt briefcase at like the same time, right? And so we might go like pick up. Yeah. That's exactly right. I love that. You did exactly right. We are gonna have this fingerprint that we don't really want at this point. We could do a silent game, I guess, is the thing we could do, or ignore that. Ignore that second part of the microfilm. We are all of a sudden making a ton of progress, and we actually have a decent amount of options here. What's funny is I do feel like we're still dead, but maybe that zoom, that huge zoom on the foot, wasn't as telling as I thought, because I would have thought there was. I was expect that shot's later than 10 seconds, so I'm not sure about the timing on that shot, but it did seem like we were very on top of red dress during part of that.
Yeah, I'm confused as to why we waited that long for the shot. Because if that was a finishing shot, finishing mission, sorry, then that would have been 14 seconds, which is too long for mission win countdown. So that was a dangerous play from Calamay, but it works out. We managed to shoot the correct person. I like the play as the spy. We were just very caught from that delegate purloin, as you said. It's just there's not much you can do, and yeah, indeed we get shot for it.
Yeah, well, good shot by there. He's kind of saying like chicken stepped toes. I was just curious because like it does look like red dress is a little bit far into the conversation circle, so interesting little details in there. But able to come away with it. I thought it was a lovely spy game, but even better catch out by Calamay. So that was probably the best. Like that was the best game that I've seen from both sides at the same time. So very excited about that one.
Okay, Calamay slowly crawling their way back up from gENTleman's huge lead. Let's see if they can continue in 3, 2, 1, playing it.
Looks like we are going to be in the delegate nice and early. What's great here is actually we get to be the first person in here in a big bar rush. This is actually great. We weren't the first person to be there. Oh, we don't take it? I hate that. I don't mind keeping our hands free, but that's a huge bar rush. And okay, so the reason why I really liked our chances there of being part of this bar rush, unless we were going for like a low light, which that maybe that would be crazy if we somehow got a low light off that, but like not impossible. Like I honestly, a sniper might low light that because I'm like, oh, a spy would want that because two other people joined first, but they have drinks, so they have to sip. So you could do the first requester, and four other people are at bar. One of them is a double agent. So there's this big bar rush. You get to be the first taker, so you have the advantage of a bar rush, but you also are at the top of the bar rush. So you get to have your hands free and go actually like not hang around the bar. So if we had gotten a low light off of that, I would have called Calamay a genius because that would be such a next level play. But now, because we haven't gotten a low light, I just don't like it because I think there was such a nice opportunity for a bar rush.
Yeah, you started talking about how good that was, and then I saw Calamay reject a drink. Very funny situation to be in. But in the end, actually, I don't hate our position because we have 3 minutes on the clock, a little less, and we do have a flirt and some inspects. We're not in the worst possible situation. We could have had that opportunity for the delegate as well. Here would have been nice, but I don't necessarily hate it here. I wonder if we're going to do anything with this book. I don't necessarily think we should, although there's no one in this part of the venue, so we might be able to get away with something.
Yeah, but gentleman's laser is dead, like motionless, right? So we did watch that entire one. Honestly, we had to be careful with even putback etiquette. Gentleman seems like locked in because we also seem locked in on Tex right now, the arm. It seems like we were really watching microfilm for those parts, right? And we end up going back to bar, so we might end up doing some Purloin play out here anyways. Oh, by the way, we're really, really close to bar. We might do a delegate. Nope, we just do a normal one because we could do the delegate no take without actually going anywhere by just tapping forward and not moving because we're so close to the tip of bar. But we end up going for a just a walk away instead, which is not terrible because if gentleman's on top of it, it doesn't make that much of a difference having that or not. We also have the well, I guess we're gonna finish flirt anyways, but we can flirt and send if we want to. Let's see if we end up doing that. But if we want the Purloin to go off, we're gonna have to be sending kind of soon. There's no one else in the queue though, so they might be a little bit reticent to do that. But we haven't left yet, so it feels like we are trying to eye the send though.
Yeah, the issue is there's no one at bar, so this would be a relatively obvious send. So I wonder if we're maybe not considering it anymore. The issue is, again, time-wise, we have 60 seconds left. We're going to go back into statue, so the delegate purloin is not going to be happening. We can go for inspect fingerprint.
Can we bug? Can we bug here? I actually don't mind this bug because the text is actually kind of covering. But it was going to be like a very, very suspicious thing, right? Right next to it. But we might have been able to get away with it.
We don't go for that swap now. 30 seconds left. We do have a contact available, so that's nice. But as usual, we're missing our 4th mission. And our usual last-minute missions are bug, maybe purloin here. Transfer is a possibility, not with 20 seconds left anymore. Here's a banana bread. It's actually not that bad. But we've got 13 seconds to do something. We need to move. Yeah, we're eyeing that bug. Okay, but this is a very obvious bug. There's going to be overtime is the issue, and I think we're going to get shot.
Ambassador almost took that bullet, though. See that little loop around that Ambassador almost did for us at the end? That would have been very funny to me. That would have been such a shot. Agreed. I don't actually hate that game from Calamay. I do think that
very good, yeah.
If we had taken the bug on the way in, maybe. But sorry, go ahead.
No. I was just going to say, if I agree that it's a very good game, except for the time problem we had towards the end. Because we had a nice game. Again, we didn't take that purloin at the beginning, but we had a nice game plan and for the rest. It's just on the 4th mission we had to rush that bug.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, we're up to match point. Be like 5 or 6 match points in a row for Calamay to try to come back from it. So probably tall order there. But honestly, at this point, it's also just like pride and whatnot. And the thing that I can identify with Calamay is if this set was played after their promotion set, if you're down a lot and it can be your end, like there's a part of you that's just like, okay, I'm down, but at least I'm close to sweet release where I can stop playing competitive SpyParty for a little bit. This could be the end of my season. Although people that might be bummed are like, oh no, this would be the end of my competitive season. I really want to try to stay and milk as many games as I want out of it. That's not how I feel when I play competitive, but I guess there's also that they're just going to try to enjoy as many of these last games as they can, even though they've had a successful season so far.
Yeah, Calamay is going to stay for every single one of these games, and they're going to win all of the rest of the games because they want more games.
Exactly. Yes, very motivated.
We have pub now. Any 3 of 7. 6 games to go. Up to 6 games, that is. In 3, 2, 1, playing it.
Though I will say, I also like that you brought that up. Though I said at the beginning that these are swinging maps that we're going to be ending on. So it's not out of the question that we have like 4 swings on this one where we could sweep pub, we could sweep high rise A3 of 6, right, and then that's most of the way there. It does also mean that there could just be a lot of chaos, and because there's coin flips at some point, the coin flip probably go the other direction. But it's not the worst map venue pool to be dealing with if you need a big comeback.
Yeah, we've got pub, gallery, and high rise. Gallery is slightly less swingy, but high rise, especially with these with the setup it has, and pub can swing very heavily in either direction, in fact. So we'll see if Calamay can take advantage of that. We have absolutely no mission progress. We do have a delegate, but that is it.
Have we any civ shots in this set yet? I can't remember. I can't remember if the civ that was that the beginning one. Because
OJ got shot at some point when they were civilian, maybe a couple of times.
Mm-hmm. Because I say pub is a civ shooty venue that you could do where gentlemen's going, as you were noting, going pretty slowly. I mean, obviously we have the I think we had a send off here to Salmon. But if we are just relying on civ shots, we might not actually get that because the snipers have been fairly patient. We will see what the reaction is from this purloin because this is where gentlemen's like #1 hopes are going to come in. The nice thing though is if you purloin early, kind of all sins can be forgiven because after you hit this banana bread, you can just go and inspect a statue and end it if you want to. So it's very easy to come back and finish up your missions if you do. If we're on top of the purloin, Salmon was not in a conversation with a reel, so we're not worried about Salmon finishing right now, and we could have a really good grip on this game. It's really hard to tell exactly where Calamay's at with the rest of the party. We are going to try to see if we... I think if we hit White Flirt here, we're going to go Inspect. I think we actually probably should go Inspect instead of trying to finish Flirt.
I mean, we can try and do the back and forth here. Depends how much Calamay is on top of it. Unfortunately, Seduction Target actually follows us. Oh, someone else gets shot.
I'm actually surprised by that. It felt like we were like lining up. I thought Calamay was going for something cheeky, where we had such a read on Queen that we were gonna put our sniper scope where they were gonna be and wait for them to get there and shoot them when they arrived, which would be... That's a great little confident move that I really want to do now. But instead it was down on Wheels. And as mentioned, this is a Civ shooty venue. So absolutely can make sense. Looks like Wheels must have been somewhere like believed in the Purloin chain. I don't think Wheels actually ever visited Bar, but Wheels was near Bar at the very beginning. So it might have just believed that Wheels might have picked up a drink or something like that, because there's a highlight on them when they're on the inner side. Also, it just looks like they were suspicious of them. Maybe we thought there was a time ad because they were in like the little corner, completely hidden spot. Yeah, I feel like we have a behavioral read on Wheels at the beginning there.
I wouldn't be surprised as well if there was a credited bug. There were 2 passes by the ambassador that were quite close, and maybe we thought they bugged there. And then with Purloin and Contact, that would definitely be enough for a shot. Although it was a little late, though. But yeah. We finished.
All right, well,
at that point.
the not 10-3, which is a very solid finish. It is lopsided, but honestly, it didn't feel as lopsided in the games. It often feels closer in the games, but gENTleman felt really clean. I do think that gENTleman was playing really solidly, but they will have to step it up even more when they start getting into... I guess are they in the same part of the bracket as C-Rams, who they faced a lot?
Yeah, they are. So they well, let me bring up the bracket again. So yeah, they should. Well, let me get back to here we go, the bracket. So yeah, so right now, so C-Rams has to get past Brycia, but if they do, I believe gENTleman will play either C-Rams or Brycia next.
Oh yeah, I see what it is. They get to, when there's the slashes, I think it's the choice. So whoever's the top seed that comes out into C1, so that would be, let's say C-Rams and gENTleman both win. They would get to pick who they want to play. Think is the way that works.
All right. So yeah. Okay. So then since gENTleman is technically the top seed of everybody in this one. He will be able to choose anybody. So we'll see. Will they choose because I mean technically I guess they kind of chose the lowest seed of Silver. We'll see what they choose next, if they're gonna go for Yosh if he makes it through, which I mean Yosh has been kind of killing it. Defied a lot of expectations.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
but we won't be seeing gENTleman C-Rams just yet, at the very least.
Yeah. So either way, yeah. So we could. I mean, it's possible if gENTleman really wants to go for it right away, but we'll see. We got some. Looks like some fun games next, and actually, I'll be back tomorrow. I didn't set it up, but we got. Tomorrow we're going to be casting another Challenger game and a game from the Masters Championship, which is basically the top 4 of Platinum and Diamond are doing more or less the same tournament, and then so that should be fun as well.
Bring out your popcorn.
Yes,
it's gonna be fun.
Absolutely. Well, also congrats to Calamay on a great season, though. They were able to finish up at the top of Silver and get to this as well. They will be stuck in Silver, it sounds like, but not a bad season, and probably not to probably like they might be a little bit bummed about the exact ending, but they shouldn't be too bummed about the season overall. Nice plays, and then gENTleman, of course, to continue on.
Yeah, well played from all 4 of our players today. I honestly really strong plays on the spy side, and sniper side was very solid on a lot of games, if not all of them. So great job.
Yep, good games to everybody. Thank you everybody for watching. I will be back tomorrow hosting again, and then we'll have a couple of new casters.
And we'll be back maybe later. Who knows?
Yeah, who knows? Who knows? Anyway, all right, everybody. See y'all next time.
See you.